Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tori Grace, and it is another episode of Woman Crush Wednesdays. Y'all know how we do it. We are rolling through the city. We never get to the topic that I want to talk about, so I'm going to do that, I guess, sooner rather than later, because it's obvious. It is a day-to-day basis of what I'm doing, being pregnant at 40. But once again, something else kind of came into my mind just over the last few weeks or so. Something that you kind of think about on a regular basis. Like, you know, when you start looking at one thing on Instagram, other stuff starts to pop up, and like the next thing you know, you're down a rabbit hole of the same topic on every Instagram post that's suggested for you to watch. Like, they ain't never gonna let it go away. But today what I wanted to talk about was securing your partner. Things that you do or things that you don't do, things that you can do or things that you can't do to secure your partner. And I know the first thing y'all are going to all say is, oh my God, you're saying can't. Like, you're telling someone how they need to be an adult, or you're telling someone how they're supposed to be in a relationship. But it's actually not me telling anyone what to do. It's your partner telling you what to do, or your partner suggesting to you or letting you know the things that make them feel comfortable or uncomfortable. And those are the things that I want to talk about today and with securing your partner. It's really important that in a relationship, first and foremost, that you come the way that you are and stay that way throughout the whole course of the relationship. A lot of the times I realize that people bring a representative to their relationship, so they put their good foot forward and they come with the person they'd like for their partner to think that they are. And this is for men and women. So when I'm saying this, I'm not picking on one side or the other. This is literally blanket across the board. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody has an exception, because this is what happens. When you first meet that young lady or you first meet that young man and y'all are getting into the relationship, everything is all peaches and cream. You got this fine woman or this fine man that you're so in like with, or I should really say in lust with, that you're supposed to continue to get to learn and know them. So that initial spark of attraction that was there, which is why you're with that person in the first place, you now have to turn it into like, which is super important, that you like the person that you're with. Not only are you attractive to them, but you like them as well. So as you're learning this person, you learn the things that you like and don't like about them. This is where securing your partner comes in. This is also where behaviors of a single person and or a person in a relationship comes into play. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you're single until married. Nah, I beg to differ, because marriage isn't for everyone. So we can't use that term of single till married, because that's not actual fact for some people. It varies per relationship, per individual, per couple. So you can't say that. That to me is an excuse for someone to have shitty behavior, for lack of better words. So securing your partner. In the course of you learning your significant other, whether it is via dating, via texting, via talking, however it is that you choose that you're going to learn your partner, you take the love languages test, you figure out what they like through talking and listening, actual wholehearted discussion. You kind of sort through their likes and dislikes. So you know what they are, you know who they are. By the time you're like, okay, you know what? I really like this person. I could spend some more time with them. I want them to be my girl. I want them to be my man. Whatever titles that you guys choose to put on it. You decide you've been with them long enough and you want them to be your wife. You want them to be your husband. The relationship doesn't stop there. Now, I saw a post the other day that said that a lot of the times people put the end goal as getting married, and that's not the end, that's just the beginning. And that to me was like a whole eye-opener to myself as a married woman. Like, yeah, you know what, you're right, that is the start of the race. because you've been running these little practice rounds trying to get to the big shebang, the thing that you've really been practicing for, which is the marathon, which would be your marriage. So for me, this is my first marriage, and yeah, it's work. So securing your partner, I'm aware that when you get in a relationship, because you spend more time with the person, that in spending more time, some people want to say that that is spending time with that person because you've moved in together, you live with them. That is not spending quality time with your significant other. I don't know how many times I have to say this to people. That is not spending time with your partner. Your partner needs to have that dedicated date night, that dedicated personal time, that dedicated one-on-one time. And this is just for any relationship to blossom and bloom. That's even for your friends. You got to have that quality time with your pals so that relationship can continue to blossom. But then you also have things that you know that within that quality time of things that are okay and not okay, that make your partner feel good or not good. I see a lot of the times that I've heard and see, and it's crazy because I don't understand it, that men and women are over here like flirting with other people despite the fact that they're in a relationship. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. So if your partner happens to catch you doing said action and they let you know, like, hey, that makes me really feel uncomfortable that you're flirting, that you're liking all these pictures, or you're putting heart eyes on their stuff, or you're asking girls, hey, where did you get that food from? Or you're asking guys, oh, you know what? Your abs look great. What's your workout? That's none of your business. Okay? It's none of your business. That opens up a door for something that I don't think a lot of y'all are ready for, because if a man or a woman responded without the like that they've built up in their relationship for you, I think a lot of the times that y'all would be single, because that's not securing your partner, making them feel uncomfortable, undesirable. Yeah, you might feel that Beyonce is the finest thing on the planet, or Method Man is the finest thing on the planet, but to constantly go about making it well known, or making it known enough to where people can see what you're doing. They can see that you flirt with other people. They can see that you go outside with your homies or your girls, and you're blatantly disrespectful in your relationship by entertaining someone else. And it doesn't have to be anything more than you sitting there chatting a little bit too long. Like, y'all know exactly what is borderline and what's not borderline. Like, y'all know how you would feel if your girl was doing the same thing that you did, or your man was doing the same thing that you did. Oh, he was just being nice, so he bought me a drink. Oh, he was just being nice, so he took me out to eat today. Y'all know that those are things that are not okay, because you wouldn't want your man taking a girl out to go get drinks after work. So why do you do the things that don't secure your partner? The other crazy thing is, it's like when I've heard in relationships before, and I can just use myself as an example, that if you won't, someone else will. Now, for me, I don't know what the average woman's response is, but my response to that is, fine, go get that then. Because obviously you don't want me if you have to say something like that in order to, quote unquote, get me to behave or act right. That's not how you get me to respond accordingly in a relationship. If you want me to do something that you feel that I'm not doing, then it needs to be a little bit more than just, hey, I want you to do this, or hey, I need you to do this. Like, I need some encouragement for it, especially if it's not in my realm of things that I normally do or I have ever done. And that could be something as simple as, you've got a favorite food and you want that cooked more frequently. If I'm cooking it once a month, but you want it 2 to 3 times a month, then that's a simple, hey babe, da 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 da, or do something that I like that's going to make me reciprocate that behavior, that action. I don't understand why it's so hard for that to be done in relationships for people. It's like, well, if she not doing this or he not doing that, and he started to fall behind or lack in the arena in which this used to happen. And for all you know, it could be a million things that have changed the reason why that action or that behavior has stopped. Like for me, right now being pregnant, I know for me the bedroom quality has gone down a little bit because on top of being pregnant, I have a torn ACL. So we're trying to work out and sort through how to function between tired and physical therapy. So that in itself, I need my spouse to have what she does, understanding that I'm sore, I'm tired. That if there's no understanding for that, there's going to leave room for that. Well, if you won't, she will. Which in my particular case, if that was a response that my spouse had, I promise you that would not make me want to do anything more. I'm just going to sit here, take care of my knee, make this baby, and in essence, fuck you. That's how my response is. Because to me, if your response to a change in my behavior is to do something that can cause a disruption in our communication or change our relationship status because you're upset with something, that's very childish. You don't do petty things to people that you want to keep around. That's how you keep your spouse secure. You don't sit over here, you don't share pictures, you don't like pictures of other men. Like, ladies love gray sweatsuit season. You don't go around and start all of a sudden, let me just like all these pictures of men in gray sweatpants. And my spouse better be okay because I'm at home with him. No, that's not how it works. That's some single girl stuff. That's some I don't like what I got at home, so I'm finna go out looking type behavior. If you like what you had at home, if you are looking, you need to do it quietly. Window shop. Don't make your spouse feel like, oh God, my wife is over here doing X, Y, and Z and making me feel a whole heap of crazy because every time I turn around, she's always talking about Method Man or Michael B. Jordan or whoever is out there. I don't even know who all the hot guys are considered anymore. I'm so out of it. But you're going to make your spouse feel uncomfortable, question him or herself in what you're constantly paying attention to. Guys, this goes for you too. Like all the fake butts and boobs that are out there, and if your wife ain't built like that, and that's constantly what you're looking at, constantly what's coming up on your feed, constantly what you're showing more attention to than what you have at home, especially if you have a wife that, or just partner, we're going to say partner, a partner that is, she don't look bad, or she's a little bit curvier than others. And I'm not saying like overweight and needs to go to the gym. I'm literally saying like your wife don't look like that. Your partner don't look like that. Your girl don't look like that. That makes an uncomfort for her to where now she's sitting over here questioning like, why are you with me if that's what you like? And don't say he's a man, because women are women as well. And if you don't think that they don't want to look and they don't have desires to see certain things, you're absolutely incorrect about that. And a lot of the times I feel like men say, well, I'm a man and that's what I'm here for, because you guys make really bad excuses for your poor behavior. And so the easiest way for you to deter from and deflect from the responsibility of your bad actions, you just say that I'm a man. It's the same way for women. Oh, well, I'm a woman, and if you're not doing these things for me, if your husband ain't paying you attention because he's tired from work, he been gone all day, or every time you open your mouth, y'all are fussing and fighting and arguing, no, you're not going to get the things that you desire from him as far as the attention and conversation. That does not mean or give you the right to go find someone else to give that attention and conversation to you. That doesn't mean that. That's kid behavior. That's the type of behavior, and I wouldn't even want my child to do that. Like, I would seriously, if I was talking to my kid and my kid didn't want to hear what I had to say and felt the need to go find somebody else's advice or opinion, bro, you finna be left on your own to sort out whatever this is, because I'm trying to talk to you. And just because you don't like what I'm saying, or I make you uncomfortable with what I'm saying because it's a difficult conversation, does not mean for you to go do some crazy mess and go ask somebody else's mom because you didn't like what I said. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. That's poor communication. And the reason why it's poor communication is because that means on your receiving end, which is a very intricate part of communication, it means your conversation is terrible. These things don't secure your partner. These things make your partner feel all kinds of crazy, feel out the loop, feel like, oh, well, if this is the type of stuff that he's doing, this is the type of stuff that she's doing, then why are you even with me? And it makes you start to question whatever you guys have been through, whether it's been a death in the family, whether it's been childbirth, whether it's been a marriage, whether it's been car accident. It doesn't matter what it is. It makes you question your relationship because you're not feeling secure. So you want your wife to wear more lingerie, or you want your man to pay more attention to certain stuff. Do something around the realms of what they like. You want your wife to wear more lingerie? Damn it, go pick her up some lingerie. Make her dinner. You want your man to do something for you? Go buy some lingerie. Make him dinner. Half the time, naked stuff is getting the attention with your partner in the first place. But you can't expect your partner to want to sit all up in your face if you've done something that made them feel insecure. And I already hear it now. Fellas gonna be like, oh, my woman should be secure. It shouldn't feel no type of way about this. Ladies gonna say the same thing. Oh, he shouldn't feel insecure because if I got his last name. No, that's not how people work. You want your partner to be a robot. If you expect for them to not process the bad behavior that you just showed them, you want them to be a robot, and that's not fair. That is not fair for you to want them to not process the type of behavior. You're dismissing their emotions, their feelings, their whole everything, by you not acknowledging that something that you did could be the reason why your partner's not feeling secure enough and to express these types of behaviors with you. If your man got up every day and every day he kissed you on the forehead, but every day during the day while your man is at work, you sitting over here bitching at him about something that he has no control over, or it's something that you have control over, but you're choosing to not work on that, that's going to turn him off. That's going to turn anyone off. If every time you open your mouth, you're bitching about something different, it's not going to be attractive. It's not going to make your spouse want to come home, hug up on you, jump on you, and all that. You see these posts of where women are greeting their husbands, their husbands pulling into the driveway, or their partners, because some of them, like a lot of them say husband, but they're twerking when they come home, like they dropping it like it's hot, they doing all the thing, like they really get into it, like, I'm so happy my man's back. You're not gonna get that if your behavior with your girl has been crap over the last few months, few weeks, few days, few hours. You're not gonna get that because you're really putting on him or her to be the one to apologize for your bad behavior, and that's narcissistic. That's narcissistic as hell for you to expect someone that you hurt, that you upset by your bad behaviors, to express to you, hey, this made me feel uncomfortable, and then you turn around and expect them to make themselves feel uncomfortable in the midst of your shit. Like, that baffles the hell out of me, because I know if I behaved in the capacity in which I've been told by men towards my spouse, I would be divorced. I would be absolutely single. There's no way on God's green earth that if I did some of the actions and behaviors that I've seen men do, that I would be in a secure relationship. It's literally mind-blowing. If your girl was constantly in somebody's DMs, constantly sending pictures out, constantly sending videos out, constantly doing things, like, you're not gonna feel like, oh, yo, this is my girl. You're gonna feel like she's for the streets. She's outside. She is singing Glorilla's song and anthem every weekend because that's her jam, because that's the type of behavior that she's showing. You can have fun with your spouse and still make sure that they're secure. You can go out to eat, still make sure your spouse is secure, your partner is secure. You can have a good time. You could get dressed up and still ensure that your partner feels good and knows that once you go out to bottomless mimosas, you coming back and you're going to be with him or you're going to be with her. Your partner will know this. They will know this based on your actions. But if every time you go out, you come back and your phone start ringing and there's different numbers popping up in the phone and there's people telling you good morning, beautiful, and it ain't your man, my God in heaven, how do you expect this man to feel secure in his relationship if this is the way that you chose to behave? Now you got to make up for that. And I don't even know if at times, if that's something that can be made up for. You may have destroyed your relationship completely, because once you put that air of deception, that mistrust into the relationship, it's hard to heal from, especially if you, as the person that is the cause and creator of the mistrust, that could literally totally break your whole relationship. Secure your partner, man. The same way you secure the bag. When you go to work or you do your business, you don't secure your bag by not showing up on time, not doing the things that you said you were going to do, spending time over at another business all day while your business is open running. You don't do that to secure your bag. You put in the efforts consciously, willingly, knowingly on how you need to keep this bag flowing, this bag coming in, this bag getting big. You don't leave the bag sitting on the side of the road. You don't say, well, if this bag ain't gonna hold it, I'm gonna find another bag and just put it in there. You don't do that. You don't go into somebody else's pockets to take out what they got going on to put in your bag because your bag is lacking based on your efforts and your behaviors. So if you work for your money like that, why can't you work for your partner in the same way? You cannot expect your partner to reciprocate double, triple, or whatever it is that you're doing in the positive light if you are constantly feeding them negative. I heard another thing on another podcast. I can't remember which gentleman it was. I'm going to start remembering these things because these podcasts are the jam. This man said that women were put on the earth to multiply. If you give a woman your seed, she's going to multiply it. You're going to get a baby. If you give your wife a house, she's going to turn it into a home. If you give your wife money, she going to budget it. She going to multiply that. She going to make sure y'all got some investments and stuff going. But if you give your wife shit, what you think you're going to get back? And I really feel like that goes in the opposite way as well. I know that women were literally put here to do that. But if you give your spouse grief all the time by your behaviors being shitty, by you bitching, by you complaining all the time, you're not going to get back what you really want, the things that you desire. So you really need to take a step back and say, okay, my girl, my man, not doing the things that he used to. What is the reason for this? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's cheating. It may be something that, especially if the change in behavior isn't like they going out and staying out drinking all night. That's not what I mean by change in behavior. That means like my girl used to get up every morning and leave me a little sticky note before she went to work. And she used to call me on her lunch break. You gotta kind of think what happened. I feel like a lot of the times something will be told like, okay, you know what, I noticed that my spouse ain't doing this. So you talk to them about a certain type of behavior that they're doing that's not pleasing or appealing. And when you talk to them, especially if they're the ones that are the doer of the bad behavior, they have a tendency to disregard what you're communicating with them about. And that in turn kind of makes a shit show happen. You have to be honest honesty about what the hell is going on. If your spouse asks you, why are you doing something that you know is a bad behavior based on your past relationships, based on your past period, based on a reason like you know that this is something you're doing that's not right, and your spouse or your partner tells you, hey, yo, this makes me feel uncomfortable, and you continue to do it, when your partner tells you, I'm done, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at all, because that I'm a man, I'm a woman excuse is exactly what it is. It's an excuse, and it is for the birds, and it is not adult-like behavior. Those are not things that adults do. Those are not things that adults say. Children say those things because they don't know any better, and they don't have enough words to communicate with you about why they behave really shitty. So secure your partner. Do the things. Do the date night. Keep plans. Don't cancel on your spouse. Don't cancel on your partner. Make them feel attractive, even when they're not feeling attractive. Especially, your girl got her period coming up and she don't feel good. Buy her favorite ice cream. Your man had a rough day at work. Go grab him some beers. There's relationship coaches online all the time. Like, make a Pinterest board. Find cheap and or free date nights for if money is tight. Like, there's things that you can do to help further your relationship, to make your relationship better when times are bumpy. But at the end of the day, you must secure your relationship. You cannot secure your relationship by doing continual shitty stuff to your partner and expecting them to be a mind reader or just go back to doing the stuff that they did before, especially if you're the cause of the reason why they don't. Take responsibility for your actions. You cannot expect your partner to be responsible for your bad behavior when you were the one that did it in the first place. Admit, acknowledge, accept, change your behavior, and stop always thinking that somebody else needs to change to accommodate and adapt to your shittiness. That is not the way that it works. If you have a good woman, you have a good man, you need to check your attitude at the door. You want this person to love you and be with you, you got to leave that mess behind. Everybody is not your ex. Everybody is not your last one that you had. Everybody is not something on TV. Everybody is not the relationship that your homegirl is going through right now. Everybody is not that. It's not always a repeat of it. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Secure your freaking partner. Make your partner feel like they are wanted and desired, that you respect them, that you care about them, and that you love them. And if you feel that you are doing that and your partner is telling you that you are not, you need to reflect, man. You need to reflect. You need to sit down. You need to think about it. And if your homies are telling you, oh, fuck that bitch or fuck that nigga, because they are just going to side with you and not check you on your poor behavior, those are not friends. Those are not friends at all. And I've told you guys before, my homegirls will tell me, my sisters will tell me, hey, you are tripping. You gotta do this. Because if you want to keep him and you want to remain happy, you got to do this. You cannot keep sitting over there and thinking that this about to be it, this the way it's going to roll, because you are going to lose your spouse. You're going to lose your man. You're going to lose your marriage. You're going to lose your kid. They check me about my bad behaviors. They don't let me just sit here and just do whatever just because. They make sure that I understand, hey, you know what? That's not cool. That's not cool at all. You can't do that. You can't tell him that. You can't say that to him like that. He's not going to be receptive of that. Yes, there are things. Yes, being a man and a woman, you do function differently. However, making that excuse of I'm a man and that's why I did it. I'm a woman, that's why I did it. I'm an emotional creature by nature, but that does not mean I get to react off emotion every day and just do what the hell ever because I had a bad emotional day. It doesn't work like that. Put your big girl panties on, an adult. Secure your partner. All right, y'all, that is it for today. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew how I felt about this and securing your partner. Don't take your partner for granted either. Like, Talk to them. Keep the lines of communication open. If you realize your relationship has changed, you could try to go back to the way things used to be, but that's after a conversation is had. Just don't think that it's going to flip flop bang pow and go back to normal, especially if you're at fault for doing something to hurt someone else's feelings or whatever. So that's it today. It's your girl Tori Grace. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Tori Grace, TORIGR8CE. Woman Crush Wednesday, the podcast, WCW_podcast. And we out this bitch today. I'll catch you guys later. Y'all make sure you secure your partner. Go do something sweet for them. Peace.